This is Captain James speaking. All systems are green. Heading towards Sector 7 as planned. The skies are clear, but there does seem to be an anomaly. What the? Is that?
Welcome welcome all to the Trini Zone. Today, we're going to be diving into the fascinating world of AI, blockchain, and a new foundation to the OriginTrail ecosystem that will change humanity forever, Paranets. Hi everyone, I'm Famous Amos, and in this video, we're going to explore how Paranets are revolutionizing the way in which we think about AI and data management in the digital age. Also, how OriginTrail has joined a silent war that has the future of humanity at stake. Well, let's get started. To begin, let's go back to V5 of the OriginTrail DKG. This is a version of the OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph that has no UAL and does not contain the innovation that are Paranets. In this version of the network, datasets were uploaded by organizations to gain the benefit presented by connected data. Organizations and individuals confined to rigid SQL tables could utilize the DKG to create shareable graphs of their data stores and control access as needed. The V6 release of the OriginTrail introduced UALs and knowledge assets to the world. This is where humans gained the superpower of being able to cryptographically identify and utilize these unique assets to store data that represent all things within the decentralized knowledge graph. What exactly makes Paranets such a groundbreaking development? This is a new concept, introduced in the latest OriginTrail white paper, marking a significant advancement in how we manage and utilize knowledge in the digital landscape. Let's compare this to existing Web3 technologies. Traditional Web3 technologies focus on decentralization and security. For example, blockchain platforms like Ethereum or Base Blockchain enables decentralized applications and smart contracts, providing security. However, they lack the ability to handle complex data relationships and verifiability at scale, which is where the decentralized knowledge graph or DKG and Paranets come into play. Paranets operate by gathering data from various industries around the globe and making it discoverable and verifiable. Let's talk a bit more about the details. The entire DKG consists of knowledge assets. A Paranet is like a collection of knowledge assets under a particular domain for particular purposes. For example, if I wanted to create a verifiable data pool of global weather data for AI systems, I can create a Paranet to absorb that data. As the creator, I would define the structure and format for how users submit that data. Users who meet the highest quality data standards based on the rules of the Paranet are given the best rewards. This effectively creates a reliable knowledge base of highly structured, highly accurate, well-documented datasets that AI systems can trust and build upon. Unlike traditional Web3 technologies that primarily focus on just transactional data and smart contracts, OriginTrail Paranets bring a new dimension to Web3 by unleashing industry-specific knowledge networks, allowing for complex data relationships and enhanced data integrity across every and any industry ready to utilize AI. In some ways, Paranets are similar to ICOs that we saw dominate and give birth to the entire cryptosphere on Ethereum and beyond. My friends, we are watching as history is being made, and truly a new path for all humanity is being forged. The IPO boom is coming. The Paranet concept is crypto's first true innovation upon the current meta of ecosystem building in Web3. This isn't an Ethereum rebrand or upgrade. This is finally something entirely new. This is a new internet with OriginTrail's knowledge assets as the atomic unit and primary resource of its brilliance and verifiability. One core feature of Paranets is its incentivization component. Imagine a world where everyone is compensated for creating high-quality content which can be used to train AI systems and more. The OriginTrail protocol will ensure that AI systems operate with the highest standards of data integrity and reliability. Meanwhile, humans are rewarded for doing what we do best, living. Paranets are a game changer for the future of AI, the internet, and all of crypto. Yes, by all, I mean all. They offer a secure, transparent, and inclusive way to manage and utilize knowledge. By combining the strengths of Web3 with the advanced capabilities of AI, Paranets represent a grand new development in the digital landscape. Now, it's important to understand that AI paranetworks, or Paranets, are autonomously operated units in the DKG owned by its community as a Paranet operator. This may sound quite familiar, as the concept of community-owned portions of the DKG was discussed at DKG-Con, where Tracverse spoke about producing a community-owned governed storytelling network on top of the decentralized knowledge graph.
Spoiler alert, it gets pretty bad in the end with his sister. Who controls the omniverse? Well, we all do. Community governed to us means more than votes on a blockchain. Anyone can do that. When you apply the standards of the omniverse thinking and lore embedding to your creations, you are automatically a part of the omniverse. This follows the exact same building methodology or perspective of the DKG. The DKG does not control everyone's data. You control your data. You will control your part of this omniverse. Tracverse is just a fragment of the Marifa omniverse. That is key to understand. So who and what can benefit from the omniverse? Clothing brands, car manufacturers, generated AI. In fact, the image above that you saw from Android Xalax is an AI-generated image. See, I saw a future where we have a plethora of generated content without meaning.
Now, let's talk about the current state of scientific research and break down a use case of Paranets that will very likely have a massive impact on humanity. Recently, the University of California made a bold move by canceling its subscription to Elsevier, the world's largest publisher of academic journals. This decision was driven by high cost of accessing research and a desire to make scientific knowledge more accessible to everyone. You see, there's a dark secret behind all the niceties of modern scientific research. Science is actually under attack and has been for quite some time. The academic publishing industry, dominated by a few major companies like Elsevier, has been criticized for charging exorbitant fees for access to research that is often publicly funded. This business model has led to rising costs for universities and limited access to research for both the public and scholars. This article by Vox states, academics are not paid for their article contributions to journals. They often have to pay fees to submit the articles to the journals and to publish. Peer reviewers, the overseers tasked with making sure the science published in the journal is up to standard, typically aren't paid either. And there's more. Academic institutions have to purchase exorbitant subscriptions priced at hundreds of thousands of dollars each year so they can download and read their own and other scientific work. The same goes for members of the public who wants to access the science that they funded with their tax dollars. A single research paper in science can set you back $30. Elsewhere's journals can cost individually thousands of dollars a year for a subscription. Big publishing entities are racking up massive profits on its journals and gatekeeping knowledge, which slows developments and harms progress for all humanity. This is such a big issue that many bigger players are taking a look at this right now. This year, in 2024, the Gates Foundation revealed this: who loses when scientific research is locked behind paywalls? Where they state, journal subscriptions can cost hundreds to thousands of dollars a year for individual access and multiple millions of dollars for institutional access. Fees for publishing outside a paywall, known as article processing charges, can be as much as $12,000 for a single article. Even the most privileged institutions struggle to afford both access to and publication in the larger numbers of journals globally. It's even more frustrating because governments and foundations fund much of the world's health-related research, and journal articles are peer-reviewed by scientists for free. Yet many journals continue to limit access to research findings through restrictive policies. It is small wonder why academic publishing is one of the most profitable industries in the world. Imagine a world where all scientific knowledge is at your fingertips, totally accessible, and completely trustworthy. That's what the DeSci Paranet promises, operating on the OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph.
As well, most of you have already talked about today, is how can we better coordinate as we unravel from our old institutions into our new shiny ones? How can we coordinate across the globe with all of us pushing towards the same goals? And knowledge graphs, as Yuri's already said, are very good for compiling composable stores of data that we can make new complex relations with other people and coordinate. But decentralized knowledge graphs add some new things into the mix. And when you came across Yuri and the guys at OriginTrail, it really was like a match made in heaven in terms of what we're trying to achieve. So the simple goal is to establish the ground truth for autonomous research and decentralized scientific advancement.
Just before I click play on this, what we did for the demo was what Charlie mentioned. We transformed some of the scientific papers into the knowledge graph, created these highly connected knowledge assets, and built a DRAG, so decentralized RAG pipeline that actually through this interface finds, based on your query, right, based on your research question, the relevant pieces of information, and then feeds it to the LLM to generate an answer. So I'll press play now. Okay, so it's playing. So we'll just ask a question. I think this one is going to be related to the Alzheimer's disease, to list all of the papers. So now the retrieval is happening, right? So the DRAG is working. It's retrieving pieces of the knowledge graph. And there we go. We found an answer. We found these two papers. You can see the source knowledge asset over there. You can click on them. You can see a little bit of more details on the actual papers. We'll look at how these actually look like on the in graph form in a little bit. But for a second, we just take a step back and ask a follow-up question, also related to to the Alzheimer's disease, and specifically specifying, like, use the gene graph ontology to answer this question. Same thing happens, right? We find the appropriate knowledge asset, appropriate pieces of the knowledge graph that is able to extract this and then provide the answer. And now if we go into the knowledge assets quickly and actually open it on the graph, and I see I got a one minute. I think it's just 1 minute left anyway. So open it in the DKG Explorer. This is the Decentralized Graph Explorer, Decentralized Knowledge Graph Explorer. It loads, and actually you can see the graph form of the scientific paper, which was a PDF before we transformed it, right? And here you can see how this actually looks like.
A network where everything is open for you to explore, verify, and trust. What's awesome about this? Well, it means no more locked doors behind paywalls. This network is designed to make sure that all published knowledge is not only findable and verifiable, but also credited to the brilliant minds who created it. We're talking about a system that's built to sidestep common tech snags like AI hallucinations or biases, respecting the hard-earned intellectual property of researchers and scientists. It's also important to state that not all data that is posted is publicly accessible. You can determine whether a piece of data is public or private. ID Theory is leading the charge, using this technology to lay down a solid foundation for scientific knowledge in the form of AI-ready knowledge assets. This isn't just about improving how we access scientific studies. It's about revolutionizing it by integrating the power of both symbolic and neural AI to facilitate and fast-track scientific development. There simply is nothing like this on the planet and will likely become the bedrock of future human innovation. With the Theory Paranet, they're not just creating tailored AI tools. They're setting the stage for AI agents themselves to carry out independent and robust search based on verifiable fact. And this innovation is not far away. On top of which, we see OriginTrail's version 8 on the horizon, by which enhanced scalability should be able to take us to 1 trillion assets. However, the claim of 1 trillion assets is quite conservative in my opinion. We can see paranets of all sorts of industries spawning all over the globe, producing hundreds of thousands of knowledge assets per day. This is more than 1 trillion assets. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned, because this is just part 1 of our series.